Hello, welcome to Gaming Gain. My name is Muzz and we are talking about first dates. Probably one of the most nerve-wracking experiences that any of us can go through. You know, that kind of the dread, the thought of meeting someone new. Are they going to like me? Is everything going to go okay? We all kind of catastrophize it, I think, in our head. Are they who they say they are? You know, there's all these different factors that are at play. And I'm just going to kind of list off the ones that I believe I've been most successful at in terms of getting a second date or my enjoyment of the date as well. So, starting off with a bottom of the list, this is definitely one that I, at this point in my life, don't do. I don't suggest it, and that is going to the cinema. Now, let me preface this by saying this could be a good date for the period you are in your life. If you're younger, like 16, you know, it's a common young person date to go on. You know, you don't need to be reliant upon, like, there's a lot of silence, there's a lot of you not talking in the date, so I can see kind of the appeal from that, but for me at this point in my life it just doesn't work. I think it's quite awkward going there and just sitting next to someone that you're supposed to be getting to know, watching something that you know, you might or might not be enjoying, because we've all been to films where we don't enjoy what's actually on the screen, and that can play a definite factor. I tried it out last year for the last time. Went on one, I was like, no, this is not ideal for a first date. The second lowest of the first dates, I believe, is actually dinner. Like, I think that is just, it's too formal, it's too much pressure. Eating in front of someone for the first time, especially, and like the whole split the bill thing, which I've talked about previously, I think comes into play there as well. Like, who pays for it if it's an expensive meal? So I would definitely steer clear from that. The only reason it's above the cinema is because you can at least talk to the person in that, which is obviously a great way of getting to know someone. In case you didn't know, you know, that's how you get to know someone. But yeah, I haven't done this one since I've been single. Would not suggest it at this point. Definitely not. As you'll see, as the list goes up, you'll see kind of what my style is for dating and how it's definitely different to going for a dinner. Okay, this next one might be a surprise for people, and that is going out for drinks. Very common first date, and I have definitely done it in the past kind of year and a bit, where I have went on first date for drinks. I think the problem is that it kind of falls under kind of similar to the dinner, where it's a bit more formal, a bit more like looking directly at each other, relying heavily on kind of conversation, which again definitely is something that can, I think, really cause anxiety. Like, I am pretty good at conversation, and I think when we go on to kind of dates where I enjoy it more and I feel more myself, definitely drinks, there is kind of that, like, keep the conversation going. Like, there can't really be any quiet moments. A lot of kind of small talk questions are asked there, which I think can bring the date down. And then if you're going to, for instance, one of my favourite bars, I love going there, it can be quite expensive as well. So I definitely try and steer clear of that one for a first date, as it, yeah, again, it devolves into like the kind of who splits the bill and all that. So this is one that's relatively new, and it is a gamble. It is a gamble, and that's something new, something that neither of you have done. I think that's why I've kind of put it in the middle, which I can go either way, because it can be something fun and exciting, And this is definitely us starting to get into more of the ones that I'm more positive about. Definitely can see this being, I think, something that can be really fun, and definitely has been successful. And I'll get onto what that was, but it can also go the other way, where it's awkward. Both of you realise, or one person realise that they don't really like it, or both of you realise you don't really like it, and it can turn out pretty rubbish. So I think the one example I wanted to talk about was going to a sauna, which was not my suggestion, by the way. It was not my suggestion, but yeah, we went to like a sauna and went for a cold dip. And between this, it was a very strange way to get to know someone, but it ended up being, I think, quite a positive date, because we were the only ones in there. It was just a nice place to kind of chat, a bit more informal than your dinners or your drinks. So it was definitely, and then getting into the cold plunges was actually quite a fun experience. We were trying to see who could beat each other, who could stay in the longest. I did not do well in that. I will say that straight off the bat. I am not someone who enjoys staying in the cold water. I know the benefits that it provides, but my word, it was freezing. It was so freezing. So that was something new that, we both kind of agreed to go on, and it ended up being quite a positive experience. So there we go. Now we're getting into the top three that I think this is where I enjoy. These are the three that I kind of suggest first, because I believe it plays to my strengths, and it makes me feel more comfortable, and I think it makes them feel more comfortable, I hope. First being just going for a tea and a coffee. Now, similar, some people are going, well, that's just drinks and dinner, but it's in a more casual setting. Like, you're not stuck in the chair. Like, you can finish up and you can go a walk, and like it's just a more casual kind of environment for, I think, more kind of off the cuff conversations, rather than a dinner, which I feel is like quite small talk, like quite regimented questions. The cafe vibe can kind of give that spontaneity of conversation, like something might happen, or someone might walk past that just sparks up something. And it's definitely, I think, one that I really enjoy. I love a pastry and I love tea as well, so it's definitely ticking a box for me. And it just allows me as a person, I think, the more casual setting is where I am more relaxed, I'm more myself, rather than, try to dress up for drinks and dinner. I think the more casual dates are certainly for me, which we will go on to next. I say this is casual, it's maybe not. It's something competitive, actually. I think is a great way for me. It allows me to kind of show my competitive side, which I do have one. Like, I play sports. I'm a PE teacher, of course I'm going to have one, but it allows me to show, I think, my personality quicker, where I'm a bit goofy. I can have some fun. Like, I am competitive, but I'm not overly competitive to the point of like it becoming a detriment. Like, I have a bit of fun with it. So like stuff like mini golf, bowling. I've done darts before, like, but that's fun. So just anything with kind of that competitive edge, it can, develop into a bit of banter between. Oh no! Oh well, my PlayStation turned off. Oh well. We go on. We move, we adapt. This is part of a date. You overdup. You overcome and adapt. Things aren't going the right way. You've got to try and think of something on the spot. So yeah, definitely something like that. I think brings out me more, brings out my personality more, and makes me, again, more relaxed. Something that I know I'm good at, and yeah, it's definitely been. I think one. I think I put it second for a reason, because it's been my probably most successful first date that has then led on to a second date. And the final one is simply just going a walk. Like, I know you were probably waiting for something that was a bit more grand and like revealing, but yeah, just like meeting up and like going a walk around the park or something like that. That's it's definitely just one that I enjoy. I think it's a really good way to meet someone. I think it takes all the pressure off. It's a casual environment. You can react to stuff that's going around the park. The conversation is not as kind of regimented as the dinner. You can like pop into different places. You don't have to just kind of stay in the one area, and it is definitely, I think, allows me like one-on-one conversation. I think is definitely one of my strengths. Being around someone, I'm definitely more comfortable in that environment where it's yeah, it's just more relaxed, more casual, and definitely allows me to kind of get my side across. Like, allow me to come like, I'm good at asking questions, and I'm good at like, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, you know. I'm a bit humble, but uh, like I just think it's my strength. It's one of my strengths is like one-to-one conversations. And yeah, I mean, that is it. Sorry if you were coming here for like a grand plan of dating, but this is just what I think are the best first dates for me personally. Probably should have prefaced that at the start, but here we are. So I would definitely say stick to the more casual ones for the first dates. I know there is almost a pressure for to make the first date almost more special by going for drinks, by maybe going to some, and some people might appreciate that, but I've found that the people that I'm kind of speaking to and going on dates with think they like the casual stuff more, like the more informal type of dating, and it's certainly where I thrive. I think I think I would obviously I would do I would have a go at the other dates. Like, I'm not saying I would never do them. Maybe the movies actually I wouldn't, unless I really wanted to see something and I didn't want to go alone. But dinner, yep, I would go. But again, it wouldn't be like I'd be thinking about what I'm ordering, and it wouldn't really, I don't know, it wouldn't really feel like I was trying to be me. Whereas the tea, the walking, the competitive, that showcases more of my personality. That showcases more of me. That, I think, allows the other person to be more relaxed because I'm more relaxed. And I think it just helps. I think it just simply helps me by having a more casual date. So there you go. That is my list of first dates that I think work for me. And if you want to talk about what you think your best first dates are, then talk down in the comments below. You know, if you've had any really good experiences on the kind of dates I'm talking about, or the opposite. Like, if you think, nope, going to walk, not for me, I'm much more of taking someone for a drink, then that is fair enough. That is fair enough. That is you. But as I said, this is just for me to kind of talk over, I guess, about what I like in dating and what dates I like. So there you go. And with all that being said, all that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.